Good evening, everyone. This is Travis.
And this is Jonathan.
And we'd like to welcome you to the 100 Ways to Love a Cat podcast.
That's the podcast that eventually plays the song 100 Ways to Love a Cat.
Well, usually it does. Most of the time, I would say every time. Before today, that was a guarantee. That's why people tune in. That's why people listen. But today, we have a little something different.
Just a quick announcement.
And we'll get out of your hair. And
There's no reason to play the song.
Well, if you want to hear the song, as soon as we're done with this announcement, please go back to the previous podcast or the one before that or all the way back to the beginning and go through them again because we are announcing today that this is officially, I never thought we'd get here, but we did. We are at the official end of Season 1 of the 100 Ways to Love a Cat podcast.
I think back to where we started.
It's unbelievable.
And how far we came.
And the ups and the downs and the sideways and the other ways. So many things have happened. It's been a whirlwind adventure.
I'm exhausted.
I'm a little tuckered out as well, but it was all worth it. And we could not have done any of this without each other first for writing the song. Mm-hmm. And then we could not have done it after that. All of you listeners, and we can't thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. We can thank you so much, and we cannot thank you enough is what I meant to say.
I wish we could thank you enough. I wish there was a point where we could say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you would say, you know what? Stop. I'm good. But it's not going to happen.
It's not possible. I mean, we're not capable of thanking someone that much. I just don't think it's possible.
I mean, we can thank people a lot, and we do. And it's in our... I don't want to make it seem like we would just blow it off.
No, not at all.
Like, oh, we should thank our listeners. I don't want to. It's not like that.
No.
We're not capable of, as human beings.
I can't express gratitude in a manner
to cover what you deserve.
Not possible.
Maybe there's some sort of alien being that's created purely out of stardust and gratitude, and they could do it. But they're not here. It's just me and Travis.
It's just us.
Just a quick announcement. We just wanted to get on here and just say that thank you so much for getting us to the end of Season 1. We're not going to play the song on this special announcement episode. We did want to say, because it's good for people to take a break and recharge their batteries.
Of course, absolutely. And because we want to give you the best possible podcast that plays the entire song 100 Ways to Love a Cat that we are able and capable to do. Now, we may not be able to thank you like we want to, but we can definitely play 100 Ways to Love a Cat all the way through, talk a little bit before, talk a little bit after. We are good at that. But right now, I'm telling you, we are pooped.
Now, when some people take a sabbatical between podcast seasons, they just, I'd say, loaf around
Probably.
and waste their time.
We are not going to be doing that.
If we're going to recharge our batteries during this, we're calling it a Sacatical. If we're going to recharge our batteries during this Sacatical, then you didn't laugh that time.
Huh? Well, the first time it was... I mean, it's funny every time.
It's been making me laugh every time.
I know, but when we planned it, we talked about it. I was a little, I don't know if that's going to play. Because we do. We meet, and even for just a quick announcement podcast like this one, we still meet and discuss before we start recording.
We try to come up with 2 to 3 puns for every episode.
We want to be, ready to go, the work that we put into. But again, not that Sacatical isn't, because it is. It's funny. But I think if we really had our batteries charged, if we were really to go, we probably could have come up with something a little funnier than that.
Season 2 is going to be a knockout.
And there's another, we do need to, like I said, wind down in order to wind back up, so to speak.
And that's why, well, go ahead. I mean.
Well, we also, the timing of this, everything happened at once. And it's just one of the perfect alignment of the stars, one of those situations. And an incredible opportunity was laid out before Jonathan and myself, and that we simply could not turn down. And we were kind of feeling a little strained, kind of pushed to the edge as well. And then this news came to us.
So exciting.
The opportunity come to the 3rd annual Wheelbarrow Camp to attend, to participate, to join, to learn, and everything I've read about this. I haven't participated in it before, but everything I've read, everything I've learned, I can't wait to experience this because everyone, of course, knows what a wheelbarrow is. Of course, use it.
Do they really?
Well, everyone knows that the uses for, say, on a construction site or
garden.
Yes, a turnip garden, any kind of garden, I suppose.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yard work in general, which is not necessarily a garden. That's just, sometimes you have to. But everybody knows those common uses for the wheelbarrow. But I don't know if people really appreciate wheelbarrows and don't appreciate how, because once you get, let's be honest, like something to say like a fork, which is pretty simple. That's everybody uses a fork to eat most of the time. That's, you're always, but you don't use a wheelbarrow as much as you do a fork, unless perhaps you work at a landscaping, if you have a job of that nature, maybe perhaps. But still, I'm going to say you probably eat in the evening. You eat 3 times a day, so you would eat that. So you're still using a fork more, I think. But some people more than others is basically what I'm saying.
And listen, Travis is not overselling this. Wheelbarrow Camp is going to be amazing. It's very meditative.
Yes.
Where you feel those the pushing poles, I call them, in your hands, and the weight when you lift the wheelbarrow up on its
it's not all about using the wheelbarrow either, Jonathan. It's about appreciating it, watching other people use it, learning how their techniques.
Well, that's the art of
their
it.
Techniques, the craftsmanship that go into creating the perfect wheelbarrow. It's not like we're going to be building them, but we'll be meeting with people that work in that field.
The history of them.
Yes, the history.
And you're not allowed to build one, actually. It's unions and...
yes, you have to be... not until, I would say...
You'd have to apprentice.
Yeah, you would have to. But, you'll probably meet some people. You'll probably be able to take a few cards.
Oh, how
And
exciting.
if you really want to pursue that. But it's just to completely, push podcasting out for a minute. Let's just push it out of our heads and focus on something else that is required and useful in the world besides podcasts.
So exciting! What a great chance! What a great opportunity! Really
looking forward to it, Jonathan. And I'm really sorry that you were not accepted.
I can't go.
It was offered to both of us. We both filled out the questionnaires. We had 2 or 3 meetings.
I answered something very incorrectly, and they never would tell me what it was. But they said,
I don't know either. I can't.
I said, could you take another look and maybe score the test again?
Yeah.
And they said, no, the buzzer went off as soon as you fed your paper through the slot. I said, I don't know what I did. I thought we compared our answers, and I mean, there were some like philosophical differences.
Well, sure. But
it's not like a test where there's wrong and right. There's just how I feel about certain things.
Well,
I don't know.
The people who are, putting on the 3rd annual Wheelbarrow Camp, they have standards that maybe I can come away with this from it.
Oh, well, I'd love to learn.
Well, if I will impart anything that I learn while I'm there when I see you afterwards. Do you have plans? What are you doing for the next?
No, I was blindsided by this. It's just sort of a...
Well, I knew you really wanted to go.
calendar.
We both said, Wheelbarrow Camp. And let's be honest, it sounded interesting, but at first we were like, oh, well, anybody can get, we did both kind of think that. But then as the process went on and the more we learned, like, wow, I did not realize that so much went into this.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I guess, I may have a knack for these things. I don't know. I'm going to find out.
And you're going to hear about it. on season 2.
Oh, season 2! I can't wait to come back.
I hope you're even interested in podcasting. Then
we'll see. Who knows? I may
Maybe
want to start a whole new one on
100 Ways to Love a Wheelbarrow.
That could be coming down the pike. Who knows? Who knows? But this podcast now is what we're focused on, and again, we want to thank you all so much for helping, listening, telling your friends, telling your relatives, whoever you can tell. We could still appreciate
and
that.
listen,
if you wanted
don't
to tell.
stop. Yeah, we need you to keep going on that.
Don't tell someone that it's that we're taking Sacatical. Don't tell anybody that this is, just say, oh, you've got to listen to season 1. And if they do and enjoy it, then they're going to anticipate season 2. And when we come back, man, we're gonna do some of the best work.
We're gonna nail it.
Yes, we are. I can't see how we could do it any other way. But for now, I'm not concerned about that. Like I said, I'm pushing the podcast out of my head, pushing it out of my life.
Yeah.
For the moment, I will be back. Jonathan, you're not going to have any?
I mean, I'm sure I'll find something.
You should find something to do. You shouldn't just sit around and wait for me to come back. You should not think about the podcast because you need a break too. Just think of something. I'm sure another part-time job or is there family you can visit or anything?
Yeah, I could go see my aunt. She's in the.
Well, there you go. Okay,
it's not like a home, but it's like a.
Well, it's not
like a prison, but it's somewhere in between.
Well, I'm sure she would love to see you. It gives you something to do, and I'll write. I think I'm permitted to write 3 letters while I am there. From when
cool.
You have 3 opportunities to reach out because they really want you to. At the first, you can say, "Hey, I made it here." Of course, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then toward the middle of the camp, you can say, "I'm having a great time," or "I'm really focused. I'm so glad." And then, of course, the third time is, "I'm on my way home. I'll be there soon."
3 letters is a good system.
That's it. 3 letters or 3 calls. Your choice. Whatever you want.
Oh, do a letter. It'll give me something
That's what I know.
do.
To give you can wait, anticipate something.
And
in the
I
mail.
can show it to my aunt. She's in the. It's like it's for old people who lose it a little bit and commit crimes. Mm-hmm. So it's not jail. It's not a home. It's
right.
just like sort of a whole. I mean, they get some care, but
does she like wheelbarrow?
And some punishment. Oh, they're not allowed wheelbarrows.
Well, no, but does she?
That was the first thing they take.
Then
away
that
from
may
you.
well that may even make the letters that much more meaningful to her, being that she doesn't have a wheelbarrow in her life. Then you can.
Oh yeah,
share
can you
some of these stories.
enclose pictures?
I don't know about that. I'll have to check on that. I think it's such a secure.
One on my phone.
Any wheelbarrow, I'm sure you could show to her, and she wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
But I think they're very you have to turn in your cell phones. You can't. It's such a really focused, and so I can't take pictures while I'm there. I know I'm not able to. But I think you can purchase some of the group and whatnot. They have that set up for when you leave. But anyhow, I don't want to.
It's interesting, too, that when you turn your cell phone in, like the staff gets to use it while you're in the wheelbarrow.
For certain things. Not they can't just sit around and talk to their buddies. But if,
No, but they can.
You can order food.
Right.
And
Uber, Lyft, a lot of
things of that
like
nature. That. Sure. But it's not just to sit around.
It's not
you can
for
order
chatting.
on Amazon. That's one thing that they're permitted to do. Or I guess any kind of online shopping you're permitted to do. But no, it's not like they're going to sit around and just run, the data up, talking to their relatives or whoever. They cannot do that. No.
Things have changed. With the first wheelbarrow camp, I wonder if they even had like a social media policy in place. It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, you have to change when the times change. That's just how things work now. You just have to catch up. I mean, wheelbarrow. It's been going on for. I mean, this is the 3rd annual one, but it's been going on for a while.
I can't wait to see how different you are.
Well, I don't plan on changing too much. I just hope I come back for the better. That's all I can hope for. And really sorry you can't go. I am. I was looking forward to us being there, but I'm not going to let the sorrow of you not going, keep me from focusing on what I need to. I want to focus and maybe come back. If I were to sit there and just mope because, where's my friend Jonathan? I'm not going to learn anything. So I've got to push that out. I'm pushing out podcasts and I'm pushing out friends.
No, I get it.
So it's all going to be, it's wheelbarrows and my new friends and my new camp counselors and my new, new everything for me there. But I will send you a letter. I will send you all 3.
Yeah.
And
that gives me something to do right there. Just wait.
Well, I'm glad I can help in the little way I can. Like I said, I wish you could go, but you, for whatever reasons, you were not
mysterious
qualified to go. Well, they are very strict. They are, they don't take this lightly. You just can't walk in off the street and say, "Oh, let me sign up, and here's my $30 or whatnot." Which it's a lot more than that, but I think
it was surprisingly expensive.
Yes, but I've had a little money set back. I was planning a vacation of some kind because I knew when season 1 was over, I needed to.
I put everything in wheelbarrow camp. Remember when I told you about it, and you got so excited?
I know, yeah, and I'm really sorry that you can't get that money back. That I don't understand.
Yeah,
I thought that was you because you're basically paying to take the test. It's not to go to the camp. I thought.
Well, the testing is very expensive and intricate, and they tell you at the beginning. We have a lot of rules. We're very strict. There's a lot of chances you take with this, and not
it's
everybody...
worth it, though. It's worth it, I think. I think it's all going to be worth it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry we can't play the song.
Yeah, I just...
Should we just play it?
It doesn't seem right for us not to play it.
Why would we not play it? Let's just play it.
Well, when we talked about this, we thought, no, let's just make an announcement, get in and get out. But no, we're here. Let's play the song.
There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 1. Keep a tidy house for them. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 2. Be sure to clip their claws. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 3. Scoop their box daily. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 4. Brush them with a hairbrush. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 5. Don't squeeze their paws hard. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 6. Give them some fresh water. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 7. Let them have a fish. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 8. Buy them a scratching post. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 9. Put them in your lap. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 10. Be quiet when they're sleeping. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 11. Whisper, I love you. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 12. Rub their soft belly. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 13. Make sure their tail is clean. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 14. Give them a yarn ball. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 15. Make them a nice bed. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 16. Buy him some catnip. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 17. Play them some music. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 18. Get them a cute collar. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 19. Make sure they're vaccinated. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 20. Take their picture. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 21. Brush their teeth. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 22. Let them watch TV. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 23. Don't let them be outside by themselves. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 24. Feed them some cat food. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 25. Make sure their eyes are clean. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 26. Put a liner in their box. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 27. Give them a mat to wipe their feet on. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 28. Don't forget them on Christmas. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 29. Make sure they're spayed or neutered. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 30. Hold them like a baby. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 31. Let them have a towel or blanket. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 32. Keep your toilet lid down. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 33. Don't let them chew on power cords. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 34. Set them by the window. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 35. Cat-proof your home. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 36. Change their litter weekly. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 37. Praise them lavishly. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 38. Never feed him chicken bones. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 39. Teach them a funny trick. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 40. Give them a toy mouse. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 41. Clean up their hairballs. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 42. Keep them away from candles. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 43. Give him a separate zone. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 44. Never play with them aggressively. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 45. Increase his cuddle time. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 46. Be sure to watch his weight. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 47. If you leave, turn on the radio. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 48. Scold him firmly but with kindness. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 49. Respond when he meows. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 50. Give them a thing of cat grass. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 51. Scratch under his chin. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 52. Remind him that you love him. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 53. Give them a box to play in. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 54. If they're old, help them get down. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 55. let them lick you with their rough tongue. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 56. Record precious memories. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 57. Dress them up in ribbons. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 58. Give them a flea treatment. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 59. Make a vet appointment. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 60. Give them a little wet food. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 61. When they scratch you, don't get angry. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 62. Give them some private time. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 63. Treat them with respect. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 64. When he grooms himself, say good job. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 65. Let them chase a laser pointer. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 66. Clean out their ears. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 67. Never smoke around them. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 68. Buy a sturdy cat carrier. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 69. Listen to them purr. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Wait, 70. lured into by temptations. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 71. Give them your full attention. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 72. Don't trap them in the laundry basket. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 73. Let them sleep in bed with you. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 74. Make sure they're not locked in the closet. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 75. Don't let them play in plastic bags. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 76. Give them a massage. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 77. Touch him as you pass by. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 78. If he's on the couch, don't be mad. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 79. If they hate fans, turn the fan off. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 80. When there's a bird outside, say, hey, look. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 81. Intrigue them with a funny sound. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 82. Don't forget sardine time. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 83. Let him play with your old socks. 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 84. Stroke in the direction that his fur goes. 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat. 100 loving ways. Way 85. Admire his long whiskers, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 86. Keep his box away from his food, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 87. Pretend that he's a piano, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 88. Don't interrupt them while they're eating, 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 89. When they're scared, go and comfort them, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 90. Let him have a lick, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 91. If their breath stinks, give them greenies, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 92. Give him a ball with a bell in it, 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 93. If it's hot, put ice in their bowl, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 94. Let him drink out of the sink, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 95. Don't vacuum if it scares him, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 96. Draw a picture of him, 100 loving ways. 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 There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 97. If you drop some food, it's theirs now, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 98. Read him a book, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 99. Feed him again, 100 loving ways. There are 100 ways to love a cat, 100 loving ways. Way 100. Just love them every day, 100 loving ways. 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 100 loving ways, 100 loving ways, 100 loving ways, 100 loving ways, 100 ways to love. To love, to love, to love. Okay. 100 ways to love. Okay.
Good call, Jonathan.
It made me
Why not? Yes, I'm so glad we played that.
feel so good. And I hope it did everyone listening.
Oh, I know it did. If
We
you,
forget. That's the whole point.
that's why people. Yes, that's
the
why
whole
we're here.
point.
That's why we're here. That's why they're bringing their ears here. That's what it's all about.
Sometimes I forget to live in service of the song.
As do I, and I hope I will learn to appreciate this song so much more in my time off at Wheelbarrow Camp. I think distancing myself from it can do nothing but make me appreciate it that much more. So I look forward to coming back for season 2. And I look forward, I hope all of you can join us for season 2. I hope you've enjoyed season 1. And I hope I can impart some wisdom, not so much about wheelbarrows themselves, but just in general. I think you learn a lot of life lessons. That's what I've told Wheelbarrow Camp, and I hope I can bring some of that back and apply it to my life. And Jonathan, let you know about it, and hopefully you can apply some to your life as well, and maybe do better on that test when they have it next.
I'll have to save up for a little while.
Sure. Well, you have time.